That's my Jeep.
Welcome to Throwing Wrenches.
I'm like Gardner.
I am Merlin Hansen. We're going to be working on a variety of vintage Jeeps, Willys products, and we're going to have some fun and hopefully show you what to do and what not to do, a lot of what not to do probably, when bringing your old Jeep back to life.
At least I'll be entertained.
I'm going to cry.
I'll yell at you.
You're going to yell at me?
Yeah.
I'm going to have like PTSD or something.
It's probably true.
Flashbacks to my childhood.
Drink.
Stop crushing. Fucking later.
I'm on your side.
How come you always get stuck in the...
What?
The pinch
Didn't you warn me earlier, like, hey, hold on, you're gonna die?
We've taken a look and what was it? What happened? Head gasket?
The head gasket overheating, yeah. So
Lots of issues. But how many miles do you have on it?
72,000-ish, something like that on that engine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been ridden hard.
Right.
You have 9/16 or a half inch on the top of that battery.
It should be half inch.
Oh, you're in the way.
So right now, I'm gonna remove the harness off of the top of the radiator, the top of the grill, and then that way we can move everything forward, unplug the lights, and we should be good.
All right,
When I bought it, there was more grass in it than there was around it.
now I know where all the 9/16 is.
Find the right size yet?
No, I can't get anything to latch on. I'm like, what? Come on.
I figure while they're doing that up top, I'll get things ready down here so that we can just pull the engine when they've got everything up off there. Just gotta remember where everything is. Oof. And what I can get to. There we go.
And remember to keep all the bolts in the box, eh?
Yeah, that's what my box is for. Now, as long as nobody then moves the box somewhere else in the shop, then I'll be all set. What's nice thing about doing something like this in just a day is you take everything off, you put it back on, you're all set. You don't have like a week to have the box moved somewhere else and then wonder what happened to it and lose stuff. What you're supposed to do is paint it really pretty
And not
in
use
your
it.
garage.
Yeah, put it in the garage. Don't use it. Don't drive it. And
Yeah.
that way, when something does go wrong, because it will.
Garage? What is that? I don't
Yeah,
even mine in the garage. It's outside.
Yeah, this. Everybody's like, man, your Jeep, it's raining. Like, why is your Jeep outside? I'm like, because it's a car. And the Grand Cherokee goes in the garage. Actually, dude, I got it. I can just hold it by hand and work. It might, or it's down on the bottom. There's a waffle stamp on here somewhere.
A waffle?
A waffle. So it looks like a waffle. It's
Okay.
that round waffle stamp covering the F stamp.
Oh, there's a, there. So this was.
This is a full-purpose Ford hub.
How'd they do the Willys on that?
Only stamped it, I guess. I don't know.
Wow. Well, that's, I find a lot of these with. I had a guy really excited a while back because he had a Ford GPW and he needed a new transfer case because the other case was busted. And he comes in and he goes, "Okay, I've got this transfer case. Well, it was a Ford stamped transfer case, but it was repurposed. So it had all been milled out for post-war T90.
Nice.
I'm like, can't use it. Sorry, unless you want to go with the T90, which is totally wrong." Does he have the 3/4 over there? I didn't think to grab new motor mounts, but I've got a pair on the shelf over there.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I was gonna say these things are probably toast.
It's very exciting, highly technical stuff.
Watch out.
Yeah, I'm loosening up the engine mounts so that we can take this, so that when we pull the engine, it's not lifting the entire Jeep up with it. And it's just a pain in the neck to get into. Nope, won't get in there. So this is what I'm wrestling with. Why doesn't it love me? Maybe I need a shorter wrench.
I'm taking off the intake and exhaust manifold so I could take this plate off, and that's where the valve springs are. What we're going to do is pull the valves out and we're gonna put new ones in, but we gotta reseat the new valves.
There we go.
I think I'll start a Jeep shop.
Right. Hey, guess what? I'm going to start. Oh my God.
What could go wrong? I see all these guys who are just like, you have my dream job. I'm sitting there going, I love working on the Jeeps, but there's the cash flow management and taking care of the buildings and the buying the parts and the occasional employee who goes insane and disappears off the planet and you're wondering where they put the parts. Yeah, those parts aren't fun.
Right.
I do like the customers in the Jeeps.
Yeah. Yeah. All those things are awesome.
As for starting one, because I get all these guys, I'm going to quit my job and start one. I'm like, you don't do that.
Don't think.
You've got more than enough business. Yeah, and you'll have more than enough business too, but you will quickly find that you, for a period of time, won't actually make any money.
Press the spring on with the valve tool so we can take the keepers out. Once these keepers come out, the valve will come out at the top of the block. And this is what we're replacing.
I bought this Jeep from there's a guy named Dave Miller. Dave Miller played for the Baltimore Colts, and I'm not a football or sports guy, but he played with Art Donovan and those guys.
Bro.
So yeah, it was crazy. So when I bought this, I went to the farm. I found it on eBay, and I went to the farm to take a look at it. And I didn't really know what I was getting into. I just said, you know, here's another Willys, I'll buy it. And him and his son were huge. These guys, to me, looked like they were 7 feet tall. And he said, I said, well, why are you selling it? He goes, because if we put the seat at the tailgate, neither one of us will ever even fit in this because their hands were the size of my head.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, fair enough. He's like, what are you gonna do with it? I was like, I don't know, I'm gonna tear it apart and rebuild it maybe. And he said, okay, cool, keep us posted. Yeah, so he lived in Glencoe in Maryland, and he said he bought this and another one, which I bought both of them. And yeah, they were just massive guys, but it was cool. I was listening to all the stories from the Baltimore Colts.
Oh, that's too freaking cool.
Yeah.
That's too cool.
Well, you could clean it with sandpaper, or some guys use like a small grinding disc. I like to use a nice straight razor because I'm not taking any metal out. I mean, when you got a head gasket, you really want a nice flat surface. I mean, you can send the head out and make sure it's not warped and stuff like that, but this works great. You can see, I mean, it looks clean, but you get scraped and it really comes off.
Ooh, that is pretty.
So we're not replacing the valve seats. We're just replacing the valves.
There we go. Finally got it loose. Mike, could you do these two bolts on this side on that mount?
Yeah.
Here on that. Well, we want drama. I mean, when I did the show for now, did the
Yeah, I want drama too. Can you give me some drama?
Punch me in the face!
I hate you! I hate you!
Fight me! Fight me! Fight me! Fight me! Fight me!
God damn it! You threw a towel at me! The front some more. Come on. You can do it.
And the drama, please.
Anger, dismay.
You son of a bitch!
What the hell's wrong with you?
Roll anger.
What's that?
Roll anger.
Roll anger. I hate everybody.
Damn it.
Can't work in conditions like this. Oh, wait a sec. It's my fault. Or there's the standard thing I do. I walk into the shop. I go, "What idiot decided to start a Jeep shop?" Oh, wait, that was me. Do you have the right size socket?
You're starting to piss me off.
Did you find another bolt?
No.
If you found another bolt, I'm throwing a grenade at this.
It's the bolt we already knew about. It's just not all the way out yet.
Bring it down some.
That important thingy that we shouldn't be catching on?
Oh, you know what it is?
No.
Gas.
Oh.
The pedal.
Oh, yeah, that's important.
Hold it right there. Wow, there's still paint left on the side of this thing.
On the engine?
Yeah. When I built it, we painted the whole thing nice and pretty gray. And
My God, what happened? It looks like you painted it black at some point. He uses equipment and
All for the sake of it.
dramatic shot of swinging engine. Not working. I think we can just cut it right on the right about there, and I think that'll do it.
Cool.
If it doesn't, just don't kill me.
I need to get the valve to sit all the way down in the seat so I can grind it. There it is. Remember, see how these are popped up? If the cam's hitting it, I'm not going to get the seat to grind.
So this would be oil from like the rear main seal or anything else like that kind of ran down there. Everything just leaks naturally on these things. With the amount of mud and dirt this thing's been through, it just cakes on.
And the only time you ever scrape that is if you're changing engines, basically.
Yep. Yeah, because other than that, most of this would be hidden behind, the transmission or the actual engine block itself. So this side here would be facing into the engine itself. The motor would be here, transmission would be back here. So this was coated and.
Ah, crap. We good?
That's a 1943 bottle. Yeah, so that
honestly, when I first bought a Jeep, the whole reason I bought a Jeep was because I thought chicks would like it. And I thought it would get me girls, right? And for a little bit, it kind of did. When I lived in Ocean City, like, girls liked it. And I was like, yeah, this is awesome. But as time went on, like, I still loved it. Like, it was still my car. But it was a lot of fun because you could do things that, like, no other car could do. I could take it off-road. I could drive it on the beach on acetate. Do all kinds of stuff with it. Plus, I could build it and totally make it my own. So it was like nobody else's. And then I got into these things. And, like, my friends were like, oh, are you going to get girls in this? I'm like, no, actually, I get 80-year-old men. Like, that's what this thing attracts. But these are so cool because, there's, like, nothing else like this. Like, you see, obviously, there's a bunch of them here, but day to day, like, they don't exist. Like, nobody ever sees them. So when they're out and around, and I'm driving this, like, every day, like, go to the grocery store, like, go to the mall, whatever, it's cool because people see these like, oh my god, there's always a story. Like, somebody always has something to say. They had one when they were a kid, their dad had one. I met a lady once that was looking at it and she's like, wow, this is amazing. And I was like, thanks. Whose is it? I was like, well, it's mine. And she started like telling me about it, that she had one when she was her dad had one when she was a kid, and that was her first car. And with her first car, she just would drive it. It was what she drove. And then she told me how she had her first kiss in it, her first date, all these firsts in this Jeep. And I was like, well, what are you doing? She's like, I'm here for service. I worked at a Jeep dealer. She's like, I'm here for service. And I was like, well, you want to go for a ride? She's like, oh my God, yes. And I was like, well, I'll tell you what, windshield up or down? She's like, down. They're not supposed to have windshields. So we got in it. I was like, you want a pair of sunglasses? She's like, no, I don't want sunglasses. So we're driving, and I look over, and her eyes are watering like crazy. I was like, your eyes are watering. You want sunglasses? She's like, these are tears. And the lady is like bawling her eyes out, crying. They tell me stories about like her dad and like all the stuff they did and this is all in New Mexico. She's like, all the cool stuff that we did when I was a kid. It's like all my memories and stuff are coming back. And that's what's kind of cool. Like, you meet some really interesting people. Whether it's like a World War II vet, a guy kid, really place and tell stories about it and whatever. Or it's some lady that had one when she was a kid. You know, it's they're just fun. They're such cool vehicles, and as a hobby, they're cheap. They're not expensive. You end up loving and hating them all at the same time. They make you angry because there's always something wrong with them. Usually because I abuse it too hard. But no matter what, it's amazing. There's no other old vehicle or even modern vehicle I'd rather drive than this thing. You know, it's 73 years old. It's just fun. It's just cool.